On February 1st, if you had told me I'd be sitting in front of you right now on May 12th saying that the Dallas Mavericks have won the NBA lottery, I would have called you a madman. But here we are, the Mavericks with a 1.8% chance have won the NBA draft lottery and have the chance to draft Cooper Flagg out of Duke. Welcome into Mavericks Today by Chat Sports. My name is Jeffrey Cooperstein, and for the next 10 minutes or so, we're going to try to make sense of everything that has happened over the last couple of hours. But before we do that, if you are pumped that the Mavericks won the draft lottery, spam those MFFLs down there in the chat right now. I want to see each and every one of you down there getting hype that the Mavericks, for the first time in franchise history, move up and win the NBA draft lottery. Here are the results from the lottery. Now, so the Mavericks were slotted to pick 11th here in the draft. When I saw that Portland Trailblazers card go up at 11, I was like, oh my God, the Mavericks are in the top 4. And then when I saw the Charlotte Hornets card come out at number 4, I had a feeling that the Mavericks were winning the NBA draft lottery. Like I said, a 1.8% chance to get number 1. And I just simply cannot believe that this happened. After everything that Mavericks fans have been through over the last 3 months and 11 days now it is, ending up with Cooper Flagg is an absolutely dream scenario that, like I said, I would have called you an absolute madman. I would have called you insane and crazy and senile. Any other adjective you want to use, that's what I would have called you, because not in my wildest dreams would I have believed that the Mavericks would have, number 1, even been in the lottery, number 2, gotten the chance to draft Cooper Flagg. And like I said, Mavericks fans deserve this moment, man. After the worst trade in NBA history, the GM essentially ruining our franchise and taking away our generational superstar, our homegrown guy, the league kind of gave us another one. The league kind of gave us another superstar in Cooper Flagg. You obviously can't anoint him a superstar yet. You don't know what he's going to do in the league. And we'll talk about Cooper Flagg, the prospect, here on the second half of today's show. But man, is he good. I saw him with my own 2 eyes at Moody Coliseum in January when the Duke Blue Devils came in town to take on the SMU Mustangs. Nico Harrison was at that game, by the way, so he also saw Cooper Flagg firsthand. You could not have told me that I was watching the next Mavericks franchise cornerstone right there at SMU. Cooper Flagg does a lot of great things on the court, and it is a completely surreal feeling that he could be wearing the blue and white of the Dallas Mavericks. You can say it's rigged. I'm not here to disagree with you. Well, I don't think that the Mavericks got Cooper Flagg as a result of the league telling the Mavericks to trade Luka to the Lakers. Do I think they got Cooper Flagg because Luka was traded to the Lakers and the league wanted to protect one of their top markets? I absolutely do. Again, the top 4 odds. Mavericks had a 1.8% chance of the number 1 pick. An 8.5% chance at a top 4 pick. The odds of this happening were slim to none. And again, given the history of the Mavericks lottery luck, it was almost damn near impossible. Because not only had they never won a draft lottery, they had never moving up from their slotted position. So shout out to Rolando Blackman. Everyone type those 22s down in the chat. Rolando Blackman, Mavs legend. He made it happen out there in Chicago, baby. And Cooper Flagg could be coming to D-Town. All right, let's get into it here. Question 1, and I know what you guys are asking, and I kind of alluded to this earlier. Did the NBA promise the Mavericks the number 1 pick in exchange for trading Luka to the Lakers? I do not believe so. I don't think this was some wild conspiracy that Adam Silver went to Patrick Dumont and was like, hey, we need you to trade Luka to the Lakers for ratings. We'll give you the number 1 pick in exchange for it. Sorry, not sorry. I don't think that was what went down here with the whole Luka trade and the Cooper Flagg scenario and whatnot. But on the other hand, did the NBA rig the lottery for the Mavericks to keep one of their top markets competitive? I refuse to rule that notion out. If you just take a look at the history of the draft lottery when there's been generational prospects. Patrick Ewing, they put the cold envelope in there for the New York Knicks. David Robinson gets hurt. Who do the Spurs get? Some guy named Tim Duncan with the first overall pick. You're telling me that's just a coincidence? LeBron James, the best high school prospect, the best prospect of all time since Michael Jordan, gets to go to his hometown team. You're telling me that was a coincidence? Kyrie Irving going to Cleveland. Cleveland winning it again the year LeBron returns from Miami. The NBA has done this before. And if you want to chalk this up as yet another scenario of the NBA rigging the lottery, who am I to tell you you're wrong? I do want to ask you, though, what is your one-word reaction to the Mavericks winning the draft lottery? There's a bunch of words that you can use, but I want to hear what your one word is. And this will be the pinned comment on today's show. So you may get hit with the YouTube ad break here in just a couple of seconds. And when that happens, go on down there and let me know what your one-word reaction is to the Mavs winning it. Mine is wow. I think wow sums it all up. It's just mind-blowing to me that all the scenarios that instantly came into my head after the Mavs won the lottery. Number one, they have the chance to draft Cooper Flagg. Number two, does this put the likes of Giannis Antetokounmpo and Kevin Durant in play for the Mavs? Number three, would the Mavs draft another player other than Cooper Flagg at number one? I don't think they would. Would they trade back and try to get more assets and stack up more picks? Absolutely think that's a possibility. There are so many scenarios that can play out over the next couple of months, and that's why you have to subscribe to the channel. Because whatever happens with the Mavericks, whether they make a trade with one of their existing guys on the roster, if they end up drafting Cooper Flagg, anything that happens, we will have you covered here on the channel. It's youtube.com/MavsTV. Hit that sub button and turn those notifications on so you get notified as soon as we publish a video. All right, now let's take a look at what the Mavericks could be getting in Cooper Flagg if they take him with the number one overall pick in the 2025 NBA draft. I'll tell you this, they're getting a dog in Cooper Flagg. In his lone season with the Duke Blue Devils, he averaged 19 points, 7.5 boards, and 4 assists, 1.4 blocks per game and steals per game. Shot it pretty well as well, 38.5% from three, 48% from the field. He was by far the best player in college basketball. I don't think that's even debatable. There are a couple things he needs to work on, like his late game execution was lacking a couple times, but you're nitpicking when you're looking at flaws in Cooper Flagg's game. According to The Ringer and their big board for the 2025 NBA draft, these are the player comps that they came up with for Cooper Flagg. Kawhi Leonard. That's my favorite one. I think Kawhi Leonard is a great comparison for Cooper Flagg. A true two-way player. He can do it all on the court, has good size, can really defend. I like that. Scottie Pippen. Again, if we're calling him Scottie Pippen, he better be damn good because Scottie Pippen's one of the best players this league has ever seen. I love the Shawn Marion comparison. He's probably a better shooter than Shawn Marion. It certainly doesn't have the funky shooting motion of Shawn Marion. Jason Tatum, I don't really see that comparison with Flagg. They're similar in size, but their games are different. I think Tatum's a better offensive player than Cooper Flagg, especially I think he was a better offensive player coming out of Duke than Flagg was. Not that Flagg is a slouch by any means. And then Andre Kirilenko, that would be on the lower end of players that I would hope Cooper Flagg would be, but Kirilenko was a really good player in this league for a long time. So just keep those names in mind when we're talking about what we are getting in Cooper Flagg. And here's what the Ringer had in their scouting report. Flagg is the big prize of the 2025 draft, but he's also just a hardwood pup. He just turned 18 in late December, so he won't turn 18 until halfway through his rookie season. Reclassified 2 summers ago to enter college a year early. He doesn't have one elite skill, but his ability to do a bunch of things really well puts him in rarefied air, twitchy, long, and bouncy athlete. He also doesn't have a significant weakness, as we talked about. So even if a team already has a high usage prospect in place, Mavericks don't really have that right now, Flagg likely won't struggle to find his way. In fact, he projects as the type of player who elevates superstars to another level. He's a capable shooter off the catch and never bails out the defense with inactivity or misguided movement. His sense for whether to attack or vacate space, depending on where the ball happens to be, is very advanced for his age. He torments defenses with his opportunistic passing and scoring once he made those choices. He also relishes defensive challenges on or off the ball. He ends possessions quickly and creates and finishes in transition. It's a holistic basketball experience. You read that last part, Nico Harrison better be foaming at the mouth to draft this guy. What does defense win, Colin? Championships. Cooper Flagg might be the best defender in this draft. End of story, right? Not so fast, my friend. If the Mavericks take him, though, they are getting one of the best prospects of the past decade. When you think about the best prospects over the last 5 to 10 years, you're thinking of Victor Wembanyama, you're thinking of Luka Doncic, and I think you're thinking of Cooper Flagg behind those guys. Maybe I'm forgetting a couple, maybe I'm missing a few guys there, but I think Flagg is in that air of top prospects over the last decade to enter the NBA. I think he's that good. I think he can be the best player on a team that wins an NBA championship one day. And the Mavericks are in position to select him and add them to their franchise. I want you guys to grade Cooper Flagg as a player for me, NBA 2K style. If you think he's the worst player of all time, type a 1. If you think he's the GOAT, type 100 down there in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. I'll put him at an 84 right now. And that's crazy considering he's 18 and a half years old. And before we go, unfortunately, we do have to acknowledge this possibility. It is not a 100% guarantee that Cooper Flagg is a Dallas Maverick. I would put it at about 90 to 95. There is the variable of trading the pick, whether it be for an established superstar such as a Giannis Antetokounmpo package, such as a Kevin Durant package. There is also the possibility of the Mavericks trading back to acquire more assets. Nico Harrison has burned me once, and I would not be shocked if he burned me again and did not select Cooper Flagg first overall. We have to acknowledge the possibility, however small it may be. And the fact that the Mavericks did win the lottery opens up the possibility of a bunch of potential trade candidates. I think PJ Washington's at the top of the list. You have Derek Lively and Anthony Davis at the 5 and the 4. You assume Cooper Flagg's going to play the 3. Where does that leave PJ Washington? On the final year of his contract? Unless they're going to trade Daniel Gafford and Anthony Davis is going to play a lot of 5. I don't see where PJ Washington fits in this rotation anymore. So be on the lookout for that. One of those top 2 guys. I think it's possible they move off of Klay Thompson in a potential package to go get Giannis or KD. We have to acknowledge that scenario. I don't think they're going to trade Anthony Davis. But again, who am I to rule out anything that Nico Harrison does? He's got 3 years and $175 million left on his contract, so I don't think anyone's going to be trading for him. But if the Mavericks want to play PJ Washington and Cooper Flagg at the 4, and Anthony Davis doesn't want to play the 5, could AD be on his way out? All of this and more will be talked about here on Mavericks Today in the coming weeks and months. We have so much to talk about here on the channel now with draft rumors, with trade rumors, with everything that Nico Harrison's going to say. I'm sure he's going to talk after the lottery here, and we'll let you know what he says here on the channel going forward. The Mavericks have won the NBA draft lottery, ladies and gentlemen. As Colin Brown, our producer, said, the Mavericks won the race. They captured the flag. The question now is, do they want to accept their prize? We'll find out in late June. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. It's youtube.com/MavsTV, and we'll see you soon here on the channel.